May I ask you to introduce yourself shortly?
My name is Jonathan. I'm an Israeli activist. I was Tristan Anderson's personal friend.
So why is this trial?
The trial revolves around the shooting of Tristan Anderson by an American protesters at a demonstration in the West Bank village of Neilin by Israeli forces. It was in March 2009. He was shot in the head with a tear gas projectile that caused him grave bodily harm, including great cognitive damage. He's paralyzed in half his body. He's literally not the same person. But it's actually about more than that. It's about Israel's policy of suppression, of resistance to its occupation by all means, by military means, using military means to suppress popular resistance. And it's about whether Israel is responsible for what it does to people who resist its occupation peacefully. We claim that since Israeli soldiers shot Tristan and caused him this grievous harm, they should pay for his treatments and to secure his future, since he cannot work, and the toll of securing a future for him should not stand by his parents. We also claim that Israel should be held accountable not only to Tristan's injury but also to many years of occupation, and that these practices of occupation and discrimination must end not tomorrow, not the day after, but right now.
Were you a witness while he was attacked?
No, I was at the demonstration that day, but the demonstration had already been over by the time he was injured. He was injured when soldiers invaded the village unprovoked and shot towards the people who were there. I was no longer in the village at that time.
But this is about the occupied territories. But what inside Israel? There is an apartheid and a discrimination also inside Israel.
There is a general system. It's hard to separate between what is happening in the West Bank and inside Israel. There are different systems of control, but there is a coherent system of regimentation and of upholding supremacy and indignation. You could say that there are different mechanisms to the same system. And we see more and more how the methods that are used in the West Bank, both in terms of mechanisms, in terms of bureaucracy, and in terms of sheer violence, bleed into what is considered Israel proper. It is. I don't think Israel could be referred to as anything else but an apartheid state, not in the occupied territories and not in 48.
And is Zionism a cause or a root of these problems?
I don't think you can speak about what is happening here without talking about Zionism. Zionism is the political, ideological movement behind the state of Israel. Zionism is the notion that Israel, that Palestine, that this area is the homeland of the Jewish people, and it is the arbitrator of the notion that this country was a country without a people for people without a country. Of course, there were people here. It's just the colonial mindset of non-Europeans, the indigenous population, not being a people. To me, the notion that a nation-state is based on a religion is racist inherently, especially if there are indigenous people who are driven off their land to make room for such a state.
How many anti-Zionist Jewish Israeli citizens are there in Israel?
Very few.
Very few. What happened to them? Can they speak out freely, or are they?
Yeah, there've never been many anti-Zionist Jews in Israel. I think it's hard to speak about Israel in terms of persecution, in terms of persecution, like we're used to talk about of Jews, in terms of persecution of Jews, in terms of we're used to speak of political persecution. Part of Israel's strength is its ability to present itself as a democracy, and the way it does that so effectively is by being a partial democracy for its Jewish citizens. Of course, these freedoms, and we do see a growing tendency to the right and against these political freedoms and these political rights also for Jews, but it is nothing compared to the persecution of Palestinians and their rights.
Can I